So hey, this is Tess from Yes Yoga, and this is just a short energizing practice for the prenatal period, so during pregnancy. So if you want to just choose a comfortable seat and something underneath your sit bones can help to just lengthen the spine, and then just soften down through the legs, feel the support of the earth. And the stability coming from the sit bones all the way up through the crown of the head. Take a big inhale and roll the shoulders up, back and down. And again, inhaling up. Exhaling down, one more. And then let the shoulders soften down, let the elbows be heavy. You can turn the palms up towards the sky, or maybe bring the hands to baby, drawing the thumbs to touch just above the belly button, and the fingertips down towards the pubic bone. And find a point for the gaze, either looking down or closing the eyes and softening the facial muscles, softening around the jaw, the teeth, the tongue, and just beginning to connect with your breath, coming in and out through the nostrils unless there's any constriction. And just feeling the full current and wave of your breath. Drawing your attention to your palms and feeling that connection around baby, around the breath, which is centered in the belly. Feeling those nourishing, rejuvenating inhales as they draw in and down to baby. And as you exhale, just inviting that opportunity or intention to let something go. So softening maybe in a physical form around the legs and hips and pelvis. Maybe softening around the face, focusing around the bridge of the nose, and then letting that breath, that exhale, soften across the forehead. Maybe it's another form of release or letting go. Allowing the mind to soften and settle to the rhythm of the breath. And not worrying if any thoughts come in, but just not attaching a story or clinging to them. Just returning to the inhale and the exhale, feeling the warmth of the hands and focusing on what baby and your body are communicating to you today. And taking one more full breath there. And then moving into a really nice breath for energizing when we're feeling a bit sluggish or tired. So we're going to gently, as we inhale, begin to bring the palms upward, belly, breathing into the rib cage, up into the chest, and then stretching the arms all the way up to your full expression of your inhale. And then as you exhale, breathing down, chest, rib cage draws in and down towards baby, and the breath finally draws out of the belly. And again, inhaling, using the focus of the hands to center the mind to the breath, inhaling up and exhaling all the way down. Do one more like that, big inhale. Exhaling. All the way down. And then just taking a hand to baby, a hand to the heart space, and feeling that full breath, drawing in belly, ribcage expands like the birds of a wing, all the way up to the shoulder blades, all the way up to the collarbones, and then exhaling all the way down from the top. That wingspan drawing in, belly softening, inhaling up, opening up, breathing into the spaces between the rib cage all the way up, across the collarbones, and then exhaling down. And then slowly just including the arms, inhaling up, exhaling down, taking an inhale at the chest, exhaling down to baby, breathing all the way out. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling down to baby. Taking a big inhale at the heart space, collecting all that loving energy and sending it down to baby. And then extending that outward. It's like we're opening out to all which is around us, all that is happening right now. And then inhaling, gathering in all that nourishing energy and drawing it down to the heart space, opening and letting go here at the center of the chest, and then sending all that loving energy on the exhale down to baby and all the way out. One more time, big inhale. Exhaling, releasing and settling, surrendering to everything as it is. Big inhale to gather a nourishing breath in, drawing that breath down to the heart space. Flooding that breath with love, big inhale, and then exhaling that loving energy and breath down to baby. Just letting the chin draw down to the chest, feeling the weight of the head. And then slowly circling to one side. And maybe nodding just gently the chin back and forward to release the side of the neck. A bit more inhale, breathing up into the side of the neck, and then exhaling over to the other side. Big inhale when you get there. It's like you're breathing up into the neck. Shoulders are heavy, elbows drawing down, jaw is relaxed. And nodding here to just find that point of juiciness for you in the side of the neck. Where do you need a little bit more breath? Where do you need to nuzzle in a little bit more breath to release and find some space through the side of the neck? Or maybe a yawn here, releasing the jaw and then exhaling, lowering the chin down. And then we're going to inhale. Finding that length, just doing a few circles now to warm the muscles around the pelvis. As you exhale, rounding, maybe tucking the chin, and inhaling, finding space to stretch the chest. Maybe lifting the gaze up to find a stretch on the front of the neck, and then chin in as you draw back. And then big inhale, circling the other way. And just leaving the neck out if it doesn't feel good, or finding a point which is comfortable for your neck. Feeling this spiraling motion radiating from the base of the pelvis all the way upward to release any tension, warming the muscles around the pelvic joints, and just feeling into that amazing structure which is going to help to birth your baby. The pelvic floor muscles and all that is nurtured there right now as baby is settled, safe and warm and peaceful in your womb. And then slowly just finding that center point, that long tall spine, least effort to sit up really tall. And then with your next exhale, we're going to come forward onto all fours. So just releasing the legs or taking them to the side. And feel free to have a blanket here underneath the knees, if that feels good for extra padding. And just taking the hands a little bit forward of the wrist to create a little bit more space for the wrist joint. We're going to inhale. Tailbone is reaching back, crown of the head is reaching forward, and then as we exhale, we round, hugging baby in. Inhale, finding space, lengthening tail back, crown of the head forward. Exhale to round. And just do 3 more with your breath, feeling that undulating motion, feeling that spaciousness, the baby hanging in the belly in this forward leaning position. So good for optimal positioning in the womb. Baby head down, their back or spine towards your belly, looking inward toward your spine. And then slowly turn the right toes out, stretch the left foot toward the end of the mat. The right fingertips can come into the middle and you can stretch the arm upward. Take a big inhale and reach the fingertips towards the toes, and as you exhale, they come forward toward the floor and up. Inhaling back, making space for the breath, breathing up and in between the rib bones as you inhale. Maybe following with the gaze, maybe just look down, whatever feels good for your neck. One more inhale to lengthen, maybe all the way fingertips to toes. And then as you exhale, turning back to your all fours position and taking that foot out to the side in line with the right knee. Back toes can be tucked or top of the foot is flat. And as I inhale, I just find that length. Sit bones are drawing back, crown of the head is drawing forward. And as I exhale, I can reach the hips back a little bit. This could be a micro movement for you, or maybe a deeper movement, whatever you need. And if it doesn't feel good for the leg to be straight, you could heel toe it in and have a gentle bend. That intention of the sit bones drawing up and back towards the sky, widening at the base, the inferior opening of the pelvis, and just feeling that stretch. Releasing and opening the birthing muscles. And then heel toeing that foot in a little bit and just taking some organic movements here, maybe some circles or spirals. And then the other way. And then slowly taking that foot back, widening the knees and just releasing back, trying to lift the sit bones up towards the sky as you lower the hips back towards the heels. Lots of space for baby in between the knees. And then either coming all the way down to your child's pose, maybe taking a block, it can be really nice to rest the head. Or maybe using the elbows down and pressing the thumbs between the eyebrow. And just feeling that pressure point, releasing any tension around the forehead. And it's like you're combing away those worry lines with the breath. Softening around the hips and pelvis. Letting the pelvis be heavy towards the earth. And just feeling from the inside now. Connecting with baby. Feeling that nourishing breath all around. And then slowly coming up. And we're going to go to the other side. So just taking an inhale to find length. As you exhale, rounding the spine. And then this time, turning the left toes out to the side of the mat. And it's the right foot which is going to stretch away, left hand toward the middle of the mat and reaching the right arm up. Just forget the arms if that doesn't feel good. And just feeling into that lengthening through the side body. Big inhale through the side ribs. The arm is coming back towards the toes as you inhale and forward and along the floor as you exhale. So the focus is the breath, not worrying too much about the physical shape or expression of the body. Just feeling into what you need here. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, maybe finding that length from fingertips to toes. Breathing up into the top of the lung, around the back of the shoulder blade, up towards the collarbones. And then exhaling, tiptoeing the fingertips round in front of that bent knee. That right foot staying out to the side. And then as I inhale, I find length. And I exhale. Just breathing into the muscles of the inner thigh, the adductor muscles. Reaching the sit bones back with the exhale. And again, just finding your rhythm with your breath. Nourishing inhales. Releasing exhales. Energizing. And softening with the exhale. And then maybe heel toeing the foot in slightly if it isn't already. And beginning to make some circling movements, maybe rocking forward and back, remembering if you've got any pelvic girdle plane or something's not feeling good around the front of the pelvis, walk the knee in line with the back hip and you can rock forward and backward here, which might be a much better option or feel better in your pelvis. So see what works for you. Remembering to honour our own bodies. No final place to get to, just feeling, exploring, sensitising to the breath. And then slowly reaching that foot back, finding your all fours position again, and then tucking the toes, taking a big inhale here, and as you exhale, reaching the sit bones high, keeping the knees bent, letting the head draw down, crown of the head trying to reach forward and down, maybe allowing the knees to come out to the side, frogging the knees to make more space and length through the spine. Big inhale, opening the mouth to exhale, inhaling again, and release, and then big inhale, then walking the hands back towards the feet, and then just slowly beginning to come up. You can always rest the forearms onto the thighs and find that comfortable seat, and then work the hands and round up so that you've got lots of support coming up for baby. And then slowly just finding a standing position with the feet roughly hip distance, maybe wider for you, and just rocking gently forward and back on the toes, feeling into the feet, waking the feet up, switching them on. The more that we lift the toes, the more that we engage the muscles of the front line of the legs, waking up the nerve endings on the feet. And then maybe making that movement a little bit higher, just some toe rocks, lifting up on the inhale, exhaling to bend, inhaling up, exhaling down, maybe adding the arms, or maybe just finding some balance with them at the waist, or feel free to find some space at the wall and do it there. No worry, no self-judgment, feeling into what you need today, letting the feet calibrate and do their thinking. Maybe finding a resting point with the heels lifted for a moment or two, following the breath and honouring that wonderful state of mind where we can calm and follow the breath and feel rather than think. And then exhale. Inhaling to draw up. As we exhale, widening the feet, turning the toes out slightly, heels in, and just bending down slightly to see that the toes are in line, the knees are in line with the toes, sorry. So we're going to inhale up, and as you exhale, gather down. Inhaling, fingertips rising up. As you exhale, pointing down. One more time, big inhale. This time opening out, exhale. And then hands to the thighs, reaching the sit bones back as you reach down, rounding up, exhaling, rounding up, exhaling. And then slowly just finding a position where you can turn the toes back to face the long edge of the mat. And here, either using a bolster or maybe a block, just for some windmills, so it can be nice if you want to find a bit more length with the blocks. Butt is back, you can bend the knees as much as you need. And the intention is to inhale, take the hand to the lower back and begin to gaze up toward that shoulder. And maybe this is enough here. Maybe you want to release the arm up and take a big inhale and reach up and breathe to the fingertips. And as you exhale, lower down. Inhale to the other side, hand to the sacrum, and just find some space here, opening into the shoulder, the upper lung, breathing maybe up to the fingertips if that feels good, following with the gaze or not. Exhaling down, and then again maybe a bit smoother, a bit more rhythmical with the breath. Or if that doesn't feel good, just taking an extra breath on each side. So breathing deeply, filling the body with breath, nourishing breaths. And then slowly releasing there. Taking one more inhale to find length. Sit bones drawing back, crown of the head is forward, and then taking the hands to the thighs, turning the toes in, gathering all that energy in and up, and then circling, making the figures of 8 around each foot and crossing through the middle. And it can be really nice to close your eyes here and just feel, and then see if you can let go of any thinking and just reverse the direction. Just feel rather than think, honouring that spiralling motion that exists throughout nature, that exists at a cellular level in the way that we first form in the womb, and that translates as baby moves down and out through the pelvis into the world. That comforting motion, and then coming all the way to a comfortable stillness. Taking the hands to the heart, and as you exhale, lowering the hands down to baby, taking a full breath there. And as you exhale, beginning to step the foot back and just finding that lunging position. And we're going to inhale up, stretching through both legs, and exhaling to bend the knees. Inhaling up, exhaling to bend the knees. Train tracking the feet to make more space between the legs, just helping with the balance. The bend can be a micro bend, or just warming the muscles around the hips and knees. And then finding a position where you can bend into the front knee. The back knee doesn't need to be straight, but the energy is pressing out through the heel. And then I'm inhaling pubic bone up towards baby, so there is this posterior tilt of the pelvis. I'm lengthening the muscles around the front of the right hip. Take a big inhale, feel that lengthening of the psoas muscle as you inhale. Exhaling down into your feet, pressing out through the heel. And then inhaling up to the front of the mat. Take a big inhale, exhale, and one more time, big inhale. Inhaling hands to waist, big inhale. Exhale to step back. So finding a stable position with the feet, feeling the root systems through the soles of the feet, inhaling up, exhaling to lower. So warming the muscles around the knee joint, around the pelvis. And then this time inhaling up as we exhale, finding our expression on this side. Front knee is bent, back leg, the energy is drawing out through the heel. Feel maybe if you bend into the knees, there might be a bit more space to lengthen the pubic bone forward. Butt is tucking under, so imagine your coccyx or your tail drawing between your legs. And just feel that stretch now on the front line of the left leg. Take a big inhale. Feel that lengthening. As the psoas muscle attaches to the diaphragm, there is that movement and maybe a bit of a deeper stretch. Exhaling down through the pelvis into the feet. Take a big inhale, hands to hips. And stretching forward to the front of the mat. And then again, widening the feet. So we're going to inhale, toes can turn out. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. And then, ooh, like, Ooh. Ooh. And then, like yummy. One more time. Then a big lion's breath, opening the mouth, spreading the face wide. One more time. And then slowly just heel toeing the feet back together. Finding some stillness. We're going to come back down to the floor. So just feel into the feet. Let all of that settle. Take a hand or both hands to baby. Feel the rhythm of your breath, feel the aliveness, feel where the breath is going, and just focus now on the inhale as you draw up. As you exhale, take the forearms or the elbows, bend into the knees, find your seat. Forget the arms if it doesn't serve, otherwise inhaling length, sit bones drawing down, crown of the head reaching up. As you're exhaling, reaching forward to find tiptoe fingertips to the floor and tiptoe feet back. And just find that downward dog. Big inhale. As you exhale, lowering down the feet. The knees come to the mat. And just maybe widening the knees here. Tucking the toes, taking an inhale. And as you exhale, traveling the fingertips back and lifting the knees. If your baby is breech, or you know that it's breech, not moving into that full squat and just rocking forward and backward here. So inhaling, and then as I exhale, pushing into the hands and reaching the knees up, lowering them down. One more time, big inhale. As I exhale, traveling the fingertips back, reaching up. And maybe just pausing for a moment, maybe taking the hands to the knees, maybe reaching the arms up. And then as I exhale, lengthening forward, taking the knees down. And we're going to find a seat onto our bolster. Just to finish. Nuzzling and feeling into the resting of the pelvic floor muscles, the resting of the inner thighs, the legs are heavy, the pelvis is supported. And you might want to take a hand to baby. It can be nice to lean forward here. There's lots of variations. Maybe for you it feels better to have the fingertips to the earth. Whatever you need, explore your pelvic floor movements using different positions so that you can begin to incorporate those lengthening and strengthening and releasing exercises into your day-to-day rather than having to sit and do your pelvic floor exercises. So more in an integrated way. So let's just collect and center now with the breath. So closing down the eyes if that's comfortable for you, taking a deep inhale, drawing the breath upward, feeling that energizing, and as you exhale, lengthening down. Inhaling all the way up to the collarbones and maybe taking an extra sip of breath. And exhaling down. This is a really nice way to energize. Inhaling up, extra sip of air, and exhaling down. And then slowly just taking a full inhale and exhale to prepare. And we're going to work on the exhale. So taking an inhale now. And as you exhale, working front to back, urethra from anus all the way up through the middle around the vagina, we're drawing in and up. As we inhale, we're holding what we've got. And as you exhale, feel that opening, release, expansion as the muscles soften and release. And take a full breath now to do nothing. Inhaling. And exhaling. Take a big inhale. And then cough the exhale out. And feel that fast twitch activation of the pelvic floor. So we're working with that sensitization of hopefully what you just felt then. But using the slow twitch muscles, gathering in and up. Think about around the vagina like the pleating or purse strings of a bag, as Judy always says. So gathering in and up, front to back, and then through the center. Think about drawing up towards baby. So we'll take an inhale to prepare. And working on 2 rounds of lifting. As you exhale, front to back, lifting up around the vagina. Inhaling to hold. As you exhale, gathering up a little more. Inhale to hold. And then as you exhale, feel that unfurling like a flower opening or the releasing and expansion of a fan as the muscles release, softening, as important as contracting. And then have a full breath to just let all of that ruminate, steep. And then we'll go one more time, this time lifting on 3. So if there's nothing else to lift, just hold what you've got. So big inhale. As you exhale, gather front to back and lift up around the vagina. Take an inhale to hold that. As you exhale, travel and lift the pelvic floor a little more. Inhale to hold. Last one now. Exhale, gathering in and up towards the cervix. Inhaling to hold. As you exhale, feel that gentle opening and expansion as you exhale all the way down. And then slowly just letting all of that simmer. And then taking a big inhale to reach up. As you exhale, take the arms behind you to the back of the bolster or your cushions. Inhaling, reaching up, stretching the shoulder blades back. And exhaling, big inhale to reach up. And again, exhaling behind. You can take the blocks or some books to have at the side, stretching and expanding the chest, making more space for the breath, energizing. One more time, big inhale. Exhaling, reaching back. Big inhale into the chest, drawing the breath up from baby, into the rib cage, up towards the collarbone. Staying for the exhale. One more inhale. Drawing the shoulder blades and elbows back and towards each other, and then exhaling to release. Softening the shoulders, taking the hands to baby, and then finding a comfortable position now just to rest and relax. So ideally at least 5 minutes, and know that this is going to help to nourish and energize the body and to support you during this really transformative time of change in pregnancy. So be comfortable. So maybe you want to lie on your left side and use props. Make sure that you're warm, so take any covering. Maybe you want to rest back against a wall and you can place a blanket or a cushion there. It can be really nice to bring the legs into a diamond shape and take some support under the knees, so we can put blocks and cushions underneath the thigh bones so that the legs can soften. And then it can be nice to use the bolster and rest the head so that we can soften and release here. Or you might want to use the bolster under the knees and rest the head back. And this can be a gorgeous position to find some length in the spine, to soften and open through the chest. And just allowing the time to get yourself really set up. And then just focusing on the breath. Maybe taking hands to baby, or one to heart, one to belly, whatever you need. Sometimes that gentle connection with touch can really help to build our awareness. And just now allow the body to soften and settle. Focus on the breath moving in and out. Breathing all the way down to the tips of the toes and then all the way up to the crown of the head and out. And just begin to connect with that rhythmical wave-like motion of breath. Really feel that that breath is nourishing and energizing and calming and releasing the body from any residual holding or tension. And softening in all those maybe habitual places that you hold tension, wherever that is for you. And just checking in with the jaw, softening through the jaw, the teeth, the tongue, the lips, and letting that action resonate down through the pelvis, knowing that that will actively support the softening and release of the muscles around the pelvis, around the pelvic joints, and then that will travel and resonate down to the feet. So beginning to just allow that breath to move in and out, and cultivating that sense of surrender with the exhale, softening. And that sense of spaciousness and expansion. That spaciousness in the body and for baby, but also that spaciousness in mind, that expansion of opening to all that is in the present moment and all that is to come, without need to fear, to really cultivating that sense of inner strength and wisdom that resides in the supple body at a cellular level. And that inhale, an opportunity to gather in all that wisdom and knowledge, that universal birthing, mothering wisdom from all the birthing mothers before you. And from that most wisest of Mother Earth. And feeling that connection with the breath, that sensitization to our sense of oneness in ourselves, with our baby, and that oneness with the universe, that connectivity. And now drawing the attention to the heart space, and feeling that sense of love, that universal love and that support of Mother Earth, connecting to that support and spirit from all the birthing mamas, guiding and supporting and loving you on your journey to self-empowerment, to cultivating your truest, rawest potential, power and energy, and that love and compassion for baby. Breathe it all into the heart space, let it flood out, opening around the chest, and let that breath of light travel down to the belly, round baby. You might want to envisage it like a golden light, or like a cluster of stars, and let that glowing breath of light travel from the heart space down to baby and into the pelvis, radiating outward with each breath. Exhaling into newfound spaces, newfound openings within the body mind. And then let that breath of life, that light, travel down through the legs. The legs are heavy, supported by the earth, all the way down to the soles of the feet. And feel that breath of light in the soles of the feet, radiating outward, so that the lines of the body become blurred and there is just a sense of the breath, that light and energy moving in and out. That sense of oneness, that universal love and support. Traveling from the heart space now all the way out, along the line of the arms to the palm of the hands, the palms soft, radiating out through the fingertips into the little pinky finger, allowing that openness and softness through the palms to connect the upper lung, allowing us to breathe deeper, fill the cavity of the chest, open and expand the heart. And again, letting those lines of the physical body soften, as you know that the body is supported, held by Mother Earth. Allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to rest, and just being with the breath, moving in and out. Letting that breath of light travel and radiate at the center of the heart. Letting that loving breath of light travel up the neck, releasing any tension around the jaw, teeth, tongue. And letting that expand now across the facial muscles, ironing out those worry lines, taking away that tension, mental and emotional, holding or strain or any stresses or worries, and letting the exhale carry them away on the wind. Breathing that breath, that flowing light between the eyebrows and letting it radiate across the forehead and out to the back of the skull, up through the crown of the head and out. Your physical body completely relaxed. And just visualizing being with the breath, that current, that breath of light, that golden energy radiating throughout your being, radiating from the heart center. Visualizing baby floating in the womb in the most peaceful sattvic environment, total balance and equilibrium. Feeling that essence and state in yourself. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. I am at one with my body. I am connected with my baby. I trust the process. I am in the present. I will honor the natural rhythms of my baby and my body to guide me through my pregnancy and birth, gently and calmly. I am light, I am wisdom. I hold all I need within me. And just stay here for as long as you need. Ideally until you feel the body is ready to move. And when you do so, just taking a few deep breaths, cultivating the sensations in the body, the senses, and just moving slowly and mindfully as you come out. All the love and light to you, mamas, and your beautiful babies. Namaste.